3, 2. Let's go. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
You are now tuning into episode 34 of the Off the Menu podcast.
Wow.
I am your friend, your host, Key, here with my brothers, my co-hosts, Moose and Tay.
Hello.
And a special guest, a very special guest, Gabe, a.k.a. Battle Dog, old school, local, underground skateboarder going crazy.
Woo, Betty.
Welcome. Thank you. Welcome, Gabe. And Gabe came bearing gifts. We'll talk about it a little more in the pod, but we'll like to show you guys what he brought us. Some 101 skateboards.
Beautiful.
Thank
Shout
you for
out
the
Gabe
gifts.
one time going crazy.
Yeah. Damn. And these will be in the studio from now on.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I'm hanging up right here.
Yeah, we're
gonna
them
get
in
you
here.
guys one on one side, so
Yep.
we'll get them hung up.
I mean, I
Yep.
appreciate you guys inviting me out. I mean, this is an honor for me. So,
Oh, of course.
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
couple from the ones that I really liked in the collection, to be honest. So,
Oh, man.
That's awesome.
dude, I know. I that one was the hard one. I was like, man, that thing's so sick.
Yeah, I remember you
It's so
telling us
sick.
before. It's like it's one of your favorite pieces. Like it's just the dopest artwork that you've seen. So I was like,
No,
damn.
it is dope. We're going to have to talk a little bit more about that. But before I forget, as always, we got IT technical support in the back. Sifu Yin going crazy.
Happy anniversary.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
And happy anniversary to us.
Happy anniversary.
all of us.
To everyone that was at the wedding, happy anniversary to us. But yeah, dude, it's crazy. 10 years together, 1 year married. You know, life gets simple. Like the fun, it's fun that we get to do something like this. We have the podcast, we have clothing, and you know, the thing about doing these kind of things is that it brings people back together. And
For sure.
I saw Gabe, like I told my dad, I was like, I need to have Gabe on the podcast. And Gabe was like, what? Would you want me on the podcast for what? And I was like, because it would be interesting. Because like, if anyone doesn't know my dad, shout out to Low Income. He used to tell us crazy stories, and I never believed anything from him.
Oh, this is the guy.
Yeah, this is the guy. This is the guy.
This is the guy.
My dad will always tell us growing up. He was like, "Yeah, I have a friend back in Utah. I used to teach him how to skateboard. Now he's crazy good." And I'm like, Dad, stop, dude. Most I've ever seen my dad do was skate forward and ollie. So I didn't believe all the stories that he would tell me is like him jumping over 5 people, him jumping over mattresses, like ollie. And I'm like, is that all true? And then we met Gabe, and Gabe was like, yeah, dude, it's all true.
Yeah, you're here to confirm those.
Yeah,
That's the
history.
only reason why you're here. You're just here to confirm all that.
hey, I mean, he did really, or he really was the one that introduced like me and our group with skateboards, because it was like it was him and I think kind of like his little brother. They both just had boards, and then their cousins though ripped. You know, when we were young, like they ripped, and we were super young. Like, wow, what can they do? They can ride on the wall. You know, like, or they could stand and ride on the wall. You know, I think it's called like a hand plant wall ride or whatever. So they were, dude. They were like the first guys in our area that were skateboarding.
Yeah.
And what year was that?
Well, I was actually talking to him about this a minute ago. So I officially say that I started in '89. So that would have been when it was our sixth grade. Wait. Either 5th to 6th grade summer or 6th grade to 7th grade summer. But they started 2 years before that.
Yeah.
So they basically,
Interesting.
he was like 5th grade. Fourth or 5th grade is when they really got bored. So it must have been 6th grade when it was official for me. So 87 to 89. That's the old days, dude.
History lesson though. Like I love hearing these stories too. So, and that's why I find it interesting. And he's just like, my dad was like, yeah, I think I can get Gabe on. Let me go ask him. And then I saw him at the wedding and I talked to him and he was like, we got to have a barbecue. We got to do it right. And I was like, you know what? Let me host this. Let me make sure all this happens. And I was like, we have a new skater, right? AJ, nephew, right?
Shout out
And,
Big
shout
Dog
outs,
AJ.
yeah.
Shout out
Going
AJ,
crazy.
He's our first brand ambassador for the More About Nothing brand. He has an amateur ghost hunter board. But we were this for like the last hour and a half. I want to say thank you for teaching him and
Thank you.
skating with him, because that means so much to him. He even had a lot of questions for you after, and I really appreciate that. What we're trying to do here is that we want to showcase to the youth and anyone out there, just go out there and do it. Find people that can help you do it, and
Yeah.
that's what you do. You just build your circle around that.
It's very true.
Yeah. Hey man, that was cool. He was cool. He's ripping.
Yeah.
And I mean, I appreciate that because that's real skateboarding right there. You know, you got something we're gonna all try to skate on. We just pull it out. We do it. It's in the driveway.
Yeah.
You know, like
Mm-hmm.
just spontaneous. It doesn't have to be premeditated or
Yeah.
anything. It's just like one beauty about skating is that you have the skateboard and you have said obstacle. That's
Right.
it. And it's just you against that thing, you know?
Yeah, it's very true.
Like that. He
Yeah.
was gonna land that trick no matter what,
Yeah.
and he did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of pressure in front of everybody, but still he paid, you know.
Oh yeah. I think the pressure though it helps him though
helps it.
because
Yeah.
he wants to do it and he wants to do it in front of people. And I like when we were at his house when we gave him the first skateboard and he was like, "Oh man, I'm gonna land some tricks for you guys." And I was like, "That's just
tight.
it feels good though, you know, like
Yeah.
that's because like I didn't have that when I was growing up, right?
Yeah.
And so it's hard to find people that I look up to and stuff. Like the person I look up to is like Kanye West, Pharrell. Like I look up to
Yeah.
music artists because that's
Right.
what I had.
Yeah.
And so but let's go ahead and get into this episode 34. Who are you and what do you do, Gabe?
I skate. No, so my name is Gabe Ducier. I'm from Salt Lake City. I've been here, I guess, my whole life. Lived a couple other places, but I've been skating since '89. And just that, really, I guess I just am a skater through and through. I love it here because I'm born and raised, and
Of course.
obviously, I'm so used to the lifestyle here and the skateboarding here. So, I mean, I've thrived, I guess, in my own ways. But I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like what I do now is I work for the Parks Department. I was a chef. I became a chef for a while, and
Shit.
that was something that was really cool until I realized how much I wasn't living my life.
Oh,
You know? And that's
You're
just
in
the
the
restaurant
kitchen.
world.
Yeah, you're in the kitchen all the time. I can't even imagine that.
And that's that, you know, like you just have to dedicate it to that lifestyle, which was great. And I decided to go down that path. And then I realized, like, why am I 34 years old and I work from 11 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock in the morning till 11 o'clock at night? Like, does this make sense? I'm supposed to be like a manager or something, you know?
yeah.
Or, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You get levels. You're supposed to level up in life.
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Dude, then
Always.
so then I walked away from all that. And that's when like my life kind of rechanged. I guess I'm jumping way ahead now, but when I was like 34 or something and I walked away from that life is when I just dedicated my life to skateboarding again. And it was really just by default, you know? I was just like, well, I still love it. I still can do it. And I'd already been skating a lot since I was 30, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I'd never quit, but I don't know. It's like a weird thing like that. You can keep doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Is it,
I
would
mean,
you say
I-
it's like almost muscle memory almost?
Dude, like so much of it is muscle memory.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is something I don't necessarily understand. You
And-
know,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I get that I
Yeah.
can do it, but lately I've got hurt like a year and a half. How long ago? Almost 2 years ago, I hurt my knee pretty bad. Took a bunch of time off and then started skating again. And then like the injuries just kind of lined up. And they
You're
were
not
all
young
minor.
anymore.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, they were like minor ones on top of like a pretty serious knee injury. And then all of a sudden, like the last like 4 months, dude, I go skate and I'm like, I don't even know how to do this, dude. 15 tries to do a kickflip. Like, what is happening?
Mm-hmm.
And then I've already been through that before in my life. So the short story is I just kept pushing through. And so
Right.
now, just in the past like 3 weeks, like all my confidence is back,
Good.
you know?
That's
So it's just
amazing.
like one of those things where has an ebb and flow. And because it's tied to muscle memory, how much time you put into it,
Right.
you can't just like not skate and then just think that you're going to go jump down the biggest thing,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah, I feel like skateboarding is one of those things where it's like use it or lose it, right? Just as you're saying right now, taking a bunch of time off, going back, trying to do the tricks that you know back then that you can do, and having a hard time. But again, as you keep going and you keep trying, it's right back there. Like you said, you got your confidence back and everything. So
Yeah.
skateboarding is definitely one of those things. It's just like use it or lose it, or you
Well,
know.
Yeah, well, and that's like with the muscle memory. I feel
Right.
like, you know, there's all these things. And I think that's with every sport. I mean, it's not
Of
just.
course.
Mm-hmm.
But muscle memory is huge, man. It's weird that your muscles memorize how to ollie, how to kickflip, how to switch kickflip, or
Right.
these tricks that you're doing on this board, you know, that's essentially a toy. You know?
I guess when you think about it, it does seem like a toy.
Yeah.
But-
I mean, probably by definition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
gonna
Honestly,
say?
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we got ours at Toys R Us growing up. So.
Exactly. So like, you know, if you can buy skateboards and bikes at a toy store, evidently
is.
it is a toy categorized, but then
Mhm.
it could be so much more, you know, in different hands, right?
Yeah.
And it just depends on the person how far they take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's back to, you know, the difference between, I think, skateboarding and other things is that a lot of the time you are either just with your friends or you're by yourself. And this is, I think, defines it the most is that you can get smoked. You can fall down so hard on the easiest thing. Like just get worked, worked. And nobody's going to help you up.
Right.
Nobody's going to like make you try that again. It's one of those things that it bites you so hard that you just want to do it. And I mean, I think there's a lot of things that are like that. I don't want to, like, if I was younger, I'd be like, skateboarding's the only thing that it's the smartest.
Skate or die.
Yes. If you don't skate, then you know nothing. No, I mean, there's a lot of stuff in life that will teach you how to, but dude, skateboarding, it makes you very independent. It makes you think independently because of that.
It teaches you determination, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's interesting because the only thing I could relate is I used to break dance.
And it's the same as breakdancing.
Yeah, yeah. And I feel like it mixes well because same thing that you said, it's like after a couple years, you still remember how to do some things, but it's difficult because you can't do them like how you used to.
Right.
I was like maybe 18 when I like really kind of started to drop off, but I did it throughout all middle school and then high school. And even now I'm like, I can do the moves, but I'm going to throw something out if I do. I've busted my hips so
It just
many
won't look
times.
as cool.
And
Yeah.
that's your muscle memory, I feel like, too. Like the other side of muscle memory, yeah, it makes you, your muscles remember how to do a trick or a move, like a dance move, whatever. But it also remembers how to like protect part of your body from being thrown out.
Yeah.
So I think that's with that athleticism and how that all combines,
For
you
sure.
know?
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to it, dude. Like back in the day, this total side note, but like, dude, first off, if you ever told me, because we were talking about earlier, the Olympics, I would have never believed it. Like 8th or 9th grade, when I was super young and thought like, nobody can touch us. We are the skaters of the planet.
Yeah, it's true.
And somebody said Olympics, I'd be like, yeah, right.
Yeah, skateboarding has evolved in such a crazy way now. Like you said, it's now in the
It's
Olympics.
nuts.
You know,
Yeah.
people are making a lot of money doing it, and it just came from a piece of wood with some wheels on it. You know, it's fucking crazy.
Do you like how when is like a Olympics thing, or do you kind of still wish it was a little more of like an underground niche thing?
I mean, this is something I think we could talk about for a while, but I don't know, man. I mean, I think for sake right now for conversation and to be brutally honest, part of me hates it with everything that I'm about.
I get that.
Part of me sees it and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
why are you by us? You're not supposed to be here, you know?
Yeah.
And I mean that through and through. Just like, dude, get the fuck out of our shit.
Mhm.
You weren't there when we needed you. And now all the big companies are there because there's plenty of money to be made.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, that's like we were talking about Nike. That's the double-edged sword about Nike. Now they're so established and they've done so much for skating, you can't talk shit on them.
Right.
But back in the day, when they first started getting in the shoe game, them, Adidas, and whoever other big company saw the market,
It was
they
a money
real-
play.
Right. There's like, okay, there's money here. But see, what it was a board company, like in the 90s, skateboarding, vert skating died and street skating got big. So now there's this new genre. And that vert skating model was making lots of money and it was this cool, popular thing and everybody wanted a skateboard. Then street skating happened and it killed that whole genre. And then those dudes were pissed. A lot of them that probably couldn't like keep going and become these other new skaters that were going to be marketable.
Mm-hmm.
And then skateboarding really wasn't doing that much as far as like, if you're talking about a global imprint,
Mm-hmm.
it was still just like where it was small, you know, okay. All throughout the world. Yeah, but small, you know?
Yeah.
And people were kind of making money, but it was the board companies. People would make money. The skater would make money from his royalties. And like, so if you were selling boards, dude, you were making $15,000 a month on skateboards alone. That's massive amount of skateboards to be sold and to be made. Because even back then and now, the markup on an actual board from manufacturer to like pro company, like if I made him and gave him to him, he's still as the guy selling them, he's still not making that much. Like dude, we're talking like $20 a board.
Yeah,
little money. Right. And $50 was the set price up until like 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so what happened was as time went on, and then skateboarding took like another fall as like a trend, so it wasn't making that much money. The skateboard companies just kept holding on. Who could keep forging a way through? Did. There weren't really shoe companies in there. Adidas was in there a little bit, and then all the board companies started making shoes. Right. And so now the only way that they could survive and actually like pay people good money and pay themselves money for all this time, they're basically like working for free. I mean, Tony Hawk has a story about that, how he sold his car. He had one other car that his wife drove, and then and it was like a Lexus GS 400, and he wanted this rider, so he gave it to the rider because he didn't have any money to give him. I mean, that doesn't sound like Lex. Oh man, it's like, well, they're balling, but not really if you think. Yeah. About it. I mean, even that was pre his video game. Like nobody was making money. Then they started making the shoes in the 2000s. So that was back in the 90s, right? So now we're in the 2000s. So then, a skateboard company would have like a board, a truck, a clothing company, and a shoe company. Right. And then those were doing good for a while because they had figured out how to get the good manufacturing. Yeah. And then Nike and Adidas jumped in, and Cons. And they just sucked all that income out. And so then all these board companies failed, and these board shoe companies failed because they had sucked so much out of the market. And a lot of times, dude, the Nikes and Adidas were like 1,000 times better of a shoe. Mm-hmm. And it just because they already had the manufacturing, and like you imagine paying even like $60 like in 2010 for a pair of shoes, and they only last like 3 weeks. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you go buy a pair of Nikes, and they even last 6 weeks, which is a lot of time for somebody who's skating a lot. Right. You're going to buy the Nikes. Why not? Right.
Right.
That's interesting. So like I don't know if you're able to speak on this, but the brands that were kind of like those board brands and then got taken out by the shoe brands, do you remember any that come off like the top of your head?
Yeah. The list is for days.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because like it was like at a time too, where it was Wild Wild West in a sense, like a board company would come up and do good if they had good riders. But like then, 5 years was sick for a company to last. Mm-hmm. The companies that, you know what I mean? For some of them, I don't even remember, dude. But like, okay, here's an example though that's crazy. Is that just because we can all identify with it and that it's so big now, dude, with Vans.
Yeah.
Because that dude who's still part of it, Steve Van Doren, his name is still on. He's still like the executor or the executive probably of that company. But dude, Vans was like good shoes, and then they started making shitty shoes, and then like nobody bought them, at least in skateboarding. And then I thought they went out of business like 3 times in a row. Mm-hmm. Then they made a comeback, but anyway, they ended up claiming bankruptcy or something like 11 times. Damn. And then finally got on with crazy. This company VF. Mm-hmm. That is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And then the guy, Steve Van Doren, what I've heard is that he just always, because it was his family's name, his dad or something, or his grandpa made the first Vans. He just anytime he got in with these companies or bankrupt or whatever, he just kept everything in his family, everything in his name, everything in his family, just took the hit, made it through. Now with VF, this massive corporation, he's still totally in charge. They're like what they signed, and don't quote me, but like it's like he has 100% say in everything. They can't say shit.
Really?
Vans is Vans. It'll always be the same. Something like that. But I'm sure amazing. Then in turn, they use their marketing power. Because, dude, just 4 years ago, maybe it was right during COVID. But so my one friend, Josh, shout out Josh Helbling, he's been managing BC in Southtown Mall, and he managed all the BCs forever.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Okay.
And he was telling me like one day, he's like, dude, their shop is next to the Vans store. He's like, dude, Vans is our biggest seller. And Vans is the biggest seller in this entire mall. Right. He's like, every single... he's like, I wouldn't be surprised if even Foot Locker. That's how big...
That blows my mind.
And there you go. Crazy. Like, to talk about how big skateboarding is now, like, it's weird. It's big.
Well, I feel like Vans, they hit like the head on everything from like the casual folks that just want good, cheap shoes true skaters, and they even like fashion dudes too. Because
Jerkers.
Yeah. Got my Vans on, but they look like sneakers.
Yeah.
so they really reach every market. So it's
Right.
pretty crazy to think that they can sell.
And
in
also,
every
it
store.
was just affordable though. Like for
Yeah, man.
for
$40
families,
shoe.
for families that had immigrant parents that had to work so much and but couldn't afford it. A $40 shoe and you're still stylish. It's really good.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
know?
bro. I get the most compliments on just my slip-ons that I got for $15. Not
that-
these ones. These ones I never get compliments on these, but these are fucking sick. Okay, they're
Those are
fucking.
I wouldn't
dope.
compliment you. He just did though. He said they're sick.
They got tigers and skeletons on them. What the fuck? That's
scary.
amazing.
Skeleton
You're scary
tiger.
walking, dog, constantly.
Getting prepped for Halloween, huh?
I've been wearing these year round. It never stops.
So what
But
you're
yeah.
saying is, just to rewind back a little bit, Vans started off as a skateboarding shoe, right?
I think skate surf.
Like a skate and surf shoe. But you're saying over time, with the struggles that they had, they gave some of the share or the marketing to VF, and VF was kind of the one that blew it up and made it trendy in a sense.
I feel like, I think
Hmm.
like I think Vans just on their own, and the skateboarding culture has like
Well-
kind of like infected.
Everybody
Yeah.
still to this day, because I mean, streetwear came from skateboarding.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 100%.
and streetwear is like a big thing in today's world and in fashion, right? So when you hear streetwear, it came from skateboarding.
Well, here, I'm going to pose a question on this. Okay, so do you feel like streetwear came from skateboarding, or do you feel like I feel like it came from skateboarding, and hip hop?
A collaboration.
It was a mix of both.
It was a
for
mix
sure.
of both for sure.
And we were
Yeah.
biting, and skaters, I feel like we're biting from a bunch of different genres, but
Of course.
we definitely tried to act like we gave it back. We gave it to hip hop.
For sure. One of the biggest brands, shout outs Virgil Abloh, Off-White. It was, he got some of the Off-White stuff from Vans,
Yeah.
So, the off the wall stuff and shit like that. It came.
But also like Supreme, like
Supreme.
when you think about
Supreme.
it,
Skate
Supreme,
shop.
Supreme.
Nike, Diamond,
Diamond.
like
was a skater.
was-
He's a skater.
yeah.
Nikki Diamond.
Yeah.
Even Thrasher now, people are wearing Thrasher shirts all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, you've never jumped on a skateboard ever in your life.
That's one of my favorite things. So shout out to Luis Mora. He's the inspiration to a lot of what we did and started all of this. More About
Right.
Nothing was the same year. We went
Yeah.
to Japan the first time, and
Yeah.
True.
I was watching.
Shout
Japan-
outs to Luis Mora.
Yeah,
going
I was watching
crazy.
Japan videos, and like he talks about his struggle. Talks about, dude, this guy he hopped on an airplane with his friend. They just went skating around Japan.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Yeah.
And I was just, man, this like that inspired me. Just like, dude, I just need to fucking do something.
Yeah.
And like for him, it like he reached like 1 million subs in like 2 years right after he started blowing from Japan. 2-3 years, and I was like, damn, it's kind of crazy.
Million subs.
Yeah, like on 1 million subs, like on YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah,
yeah,
subscribers.
he was just flying to Japan multiple times and then flying back to the
Dude,
States and just
signing
skating everywhere.
and he was signing kids from Japan. Like I watched a lot of these kids grow up. Like this 12-year-old he met.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Kanosuke.
dude, he's Kanosuke. Yeah, dude, he's 18 now.
Yeah.
He
Shout outs,
graduated, and
dude.
that shit's crazy. And like that's
What does he do?
he
He's
skates.
a skateboarder.
Oh, they're
He's-
skaters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
he's
skaters.
like-
So
He's a young Japanese kid going crazy on
Yeah.
the fucking skateboard.
So
Yeah.
you know
I have to watch
Utah,
the
right?
video.
So we were talking about Utah earlier. So I first witnessed like Utah skating like 6 years ago, and Luis Mora was like, "Yeah, dude, this kid's next up. Like he can win some medals and stuff. He can win some gold." And then boom, he started knocking out every SLS. He started knocking X Games, fucking Olympics, everything.
And
This-
doing crazy tricks in it. Not
yeah.
Yeah.
They,
Not just sick.
Oh, he's
like,
going crazy.
they
inventing.
they changed the move's name to the U Tornado.
That's sick.
Yeah, we were watching it and it just live. Oh, there goes the U tornado, and he spins out, and then he does like a 180 off the rail, and I'm like, "What is going on? He has his own move. It's crazy."
Right.
Yeah, the Luis that we're talking about, he just flies out these kids to any like competition too. Like he really helps them out. So he gets them on. And
Yeah.
I forget that we were inspired by a skate company.
Yeah, no, and it is. That's what streetwear.
Yeah, streetwear is derived from skateboarding.
Yeah.
And
What
we
was
have
that
a
kid's name?
Luis
No, Kai.
Kanosuke.
Kanosuke.
It's
Okay, wait,
Japanese.
sorry, I know
like
this.
KYNOUSKE, something like that. Maybe I butchered it.
But dude, no. Let's talk about the streetwear thing some more and all this. 'cause
Yeah,
It's. Oh, I know who that dude is. He's sick.
yeah.
Little young
I-
Japanese
the
kid.
name. I had to see who the
Yeah.
name was. Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
no.
But dude, I mean the streetwear thing because Okay, so back, I wanted to talk about this, and I don't want to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
no,
Go ahead.
no,
go for it.
No.
I mean, so like my era, we bit the LA skaters, right? There was like this part in the Pal Peralta video, LA Boys. There was like this short, and it was like Guy Mariano, Gabriel Rodriguez, Paulo Diaz, and Rudy Johnson. And so they had this part, and then it was the LA Boys, and it was kind of like hip hop style or whatever. But then I think almost 7, 8 years after that, they were all now in a company, and it was called Girl. The short story is because this one dude, Steve Rocco, who was this massive skate owner of like 4 companies, had all the best kids. And I mean, they were kids back then, my age people, so like 18 to 20 something in the early 90s. And they thought he was stealing money. Probably was. I don't know. Anyway, so far away. Okay, anyway. So then to piss him off, all these homies got together, and they were going to start coup companies. And one of them was, they had probably a bunch of names, but then somebody said they were a bunch of girls, and he made an ad about it. And that's what this dude was famous for, was like making ads about things that were controversial or even like to fuck with people. And especially then, like, I swear it was so much different. Like, you could go after people in an ad and be like really controversial. So then they did. No, he called them bitches, I think. And then they called their company Girl and became the best skateboarding company of all time, basically forever.
I still remember that logo.
Yeah, it's
like,
just the bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom.
the bathroom girl.
The girl bathroom logo.
I always felt like the skaters that had those boards, I'm like, oh, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I can't. If I ever even thought about wearing any girl stuff, it's like I'm not cool enough for that.
So let's start there. When you were growing up, when you were skating, what was the cool things to wear?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's what I was going to say. Like,
Jankos?
Ben Davis.
Janko jeans.
It's like, hey, I want a pair, man.
I hate Jankos.
I hate Jankos.
I just want to know.
I love Janko jeans.
Man,
To be serious, I don't rave.
I just want to try them on one time.
those are land surfers. Those are land surfers.
land surfers?
Yeah, because those motherfuckers get so wet, you fucking feel like you're surfing.
Exactly.
Dude, I hate those motherfuckers, dude. It's because I'm a big guy, so like I had to wear the bigger pants. So Jankos are just way more bigger on me, for sure.
So Jankos were like the whack version of Fresh Jive. And Fresh Jive.
Okay.
So when I was in between, like when I was like 7th, 8th, 9th grade, like we just dressed however. I don't think there was necessarily a skate style. If anything, it was new wave. I don't know. And then but what I was getting at was like the dudes from Venice who kind of were the beginning of skateboarding, they dressed like cholos. So that style always kind of stayed around. But skateboarding as a whole kind of just, it was whatever, dude.
Right.
There weren't really as many trends
cool.
until like this really whack that's back now. I really don't even care. But it's whack looking and it's hard to skate in. Massive pants,
Yeah, okay.
big ass tall tees, you know?
Yeah.
So that trend hit when I was probably 8th, 9th grade, when maybe it really mattered what you wore. Or you started thinking about it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But because by the time in 10th grade, though, like I started dressing like a hip hop preppy skater, white tees and khakis, or like, or East Coast, how East Coast rappers would dress, right? Like rugbies and whatever. So that was the style that I was in. And, but that whole big pant thing, like the Jankos were like, even we hated those even then because it was like Fresh Jive or die.
Yeah.
What about the skinny jeans?
And then the skinny jeans hit when I was old, though. And what's funny about that? Okay, wait. Wait. This is all. Okay.
Go ahead.
This is all the funny shit. This is all the funny shit. So when we were like, why are we wearing these giant fucking pants? And we had really little wheels. It was just a trend that followed skating, and everybody realized like this is whack as fuck. You can't see your board. Like your wheels are tiny. It's hard as hell to skate. And so like the trend like came in style for like a year or two, and then everything just like went to normal. Like it was like just wear whatever.
It died out.
And it was kind of like the new LA style of the company Girl that I was talking about. Everybody was like white t-shirts and jeans or white t-shirts and khakis. And that kind of leveled out the skate playing field, because really that's all skaters wear is just t-shirts and Dickies.
Uh-huh.
So there wasn't really like set style for a while, and then the tight jean thing happened. And I remember
Yeah.
being like 26 maybe, and I was just thinking like, what are these fools thinking? How could you skate in that? How could you skate like?
Oh
Yeah.
man, I love that.
I
You think of
grew
that.
up in
I
that, man.
hated it.
Yeah.
I hated the skinny jean era because I'm a big guy too, so I didn't have skinny jeans. But watching these fools,
Show
'cause
them
I
trunks.
watched a lot. I paid attention. Like, of course, I paid attention to a lot of skateboarding. Like, I could never get on a board. I had like a fear of falling and stuff. But watching my dad, my brother, like they skateboarded.
Right.
We had a white neighbor that in our backyard. He had a half pipe in his
Right.
backyard, and so we would just, like I learned how to drop in it, and then, dude.
That's
Watching
sick.
it transition though from that to like regular clothing and then to the skinny jeans was so crazy. I was probably like 6th grade.
Yeah.
And
That's when it started.
yeah, that's when it
Yeah.
started. And then all the girls were loving it. Avril Lavigne fucked everything up, dude.
Yeah,
Avril Lavigne.
Dude, because everyone
What's
wanted
that?
to wear her
What's that?
pants.
What's that? What was that? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah. I used to make fun of there. All these boys in
so
school,
fucked up.
like they would write their last names, turn their assignments, and change their last name to Levine.
No way.
Yeah, no, for real. This was in Portland. Like every boy that skateboarded wrote their last name Levine.
Oh, because she wanted to
Skater
see
boy.
us, or she
Skater
wanted
boy.
a skater boy. See you later, boy.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. Stupid.
But it,
Well,
all right.
I'm sorry. I never. Okay, I never went crazy skinny. Okay.
No. It's fine. I was talking about, it wasn't just to me. When you see you on a skateboard, you're wearing skinny jeans. I'm just
Okay.
like, it's not optimal.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
In 7th grade, that's when it like for me, a lot of my friends started to do the skinny jean thing, and I was friends with a lot of skaters, and they all had the same fit, super girl tight skinny jeans, acid wash tee, and then their hair would be like this, and then they'll just be like constantly.
They were like, it's a fusion of emo rock, like punk rock, and then skateboarding because Avril Lavigne.
life into pieces.
Hey, that song's fire though. Yeah, I love that song's fire. All my emo friends, dude, stay away from trees.
Stupid. I don't. They can't smoke bud.
I have, yeah, that too.
Dude, no, that's funny.
Uh,
I mean, to me, like now, especially like how much shit we wasted talking about things that don't matter. You know, like at 46, I don't care if you rollerblade.
Yeah, that's coming back in too though.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
and that's cool. Like now, it's like, man, like how much hate did I have in myself? I was so mad at these rollerbladers.
Right.
Oh, I hate you guys.
It's okay.
You know?
That's like me hating b-boys because they always use the basketball courts to practice.
Yeah.
Dude,
But I-
they have the best.
I
floors,
played basketball.
bro.
Yeah, but exactly for a reason. Stay off the floors. We had the same conversation all the time. But it's like I got in a fight with a kid because he was trying to b-boy in the corner, and then he came and like fell into me as I was running. And I'm like, dude, get the fuck off the court. What the hell are you doing? Like, always stay in your corner. And then he gets up and he used the C word. Called me a chink.
Oh.
And then
For some reason, I was thinking about a Vietnamese kid for some reason.
and then I pushed him in his locker and he got stuck in his locker for the rest of the day.
Fuck him.
So
He
yeah.
was stuck in his locker.
Dude, yeah, he passed. When I pushed him in, I guess he had a concussion, so I got taken out of school.
Oh goddamn.
And so I pushed him in, and then he fell asleep. He had a concussion, and then I went to go check because we didn't. I went to go. This is what's fucked up. This is before lunchtime. I pushed the fucking cookie at lunch into the locker, and I said, "Eat this," and he didn't respond. So I thought he was out of the locker. Next day, the principal pulls me in. He goes, "Hey, we need to talk to you," and I was like, "Fuck."
Bro, it's his fault. You can't be calling people chinks, and then when something happens, you're too weak to handle it.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
suspended for a week.
Yeah, bro.
No, man.
That's his fault.
That exactly. You brought up that level of anger. You got it back. Sorry, bud.
And it's like, what'd you do? It's like, I call him a chink. It's like, well, yeah, silly guy.
Stay off the court.
Yes, you got you dumb fuck.
Guy.
You're suspended.
Yeah, exactly.
You're suspended, principal. Get out of here.
Straight
You're
up.
on the wrong side.
No, straight up.
So we talked a little bit about clothing in the time that you. What about shoes? What kind of shoes were you wearing during the time when you were skating?
You
Was
know,
it-
I mean, it's especially now, right now, with like how SB is. Well, and I feel like SB and Nike Dunks and all that kind of was that new revival. I mean, that shit was already popping, but between Supreme and SB and Dunks, skateboarding helped that like really jet
sure.
out. But Dude, when I was young, let's start with there weren't really good shoe companies back in the day, even though they did exist. Airwalk, Vision Streetwear, and I think that's
Damn, Airwalk, you just unlocked the memory in my fucking brain, bro.
your feet hurting and you're mad.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
Airwalk, that's crazy.
Those-
They
I
have them
don't-
in Payless now.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. I was like, are they the same company? Because I would used to see it all like there all the time. Because I'm like born in '95, so I'm pretty young. So that was like a little before my time. But yeah, I remember everybody would say, I miss my Airwalks, like all my aunts and my older cousins and stuff. And I'm like,
They're
I have
lying.
no
Those are
idea.
whack.
They're lying, dude.
They're like, I miss Airwalks. I was like, I have no idea what you're talking
Yeah.
about right now.
Dude, and not man. Okay, so they were around, and that's when we were young. And then I feel like there weren't any shoe companies when I was coming up because I wore like whatever was at Mervin's when I was young. And my dad,
Holy
like off the
crap,
bat, was like,
Mervin's?
he's like, I'm not trying to buy you
Damn.
shoes that you wear out this fast. And he made me put leather. Like he's like, okay, cut this piece of leather out, and then we're gonna put it on your shoe. You're gonna put a hole in it. It's gonna go over the spot where you make the hole all the time.
You gotta patch it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's
Damn.
crazy.
Patchwork. I'm gonna start doing stuff to kids' shoes too.
Yeah,
AJ
gotta do
shoes.
the AJs, man.
We just said we'll buy them, so he's get a little black patch.
More about nothing.
Yeah, no,
That's a sticker.
there's the idea right there. Skate patch.
When you get a hole,
And this is more about nothing. That's
Yeah,
what
there
he
you go.
said. But I think that it was just a free for all forever.
Yeah.
It was a free for all forever, and then maybe like Vans was constantly around.
Mm-hmm.
Vans was just like pretty much the only game, and there would be like junky shoes that came up. But as far as I went, like, dude, I just ran. I think when I like by the time I had hit 9th grade, maybe then I was like, okay, I'm good enough that I know that I need to have a shoe that is the same all the time, maybe.
Right.
So I was running Converse All Star Low Cuts
Okay.
for
nice.
days. This, I mean, okay, I literally wore every kind of shoe possible when I was young,
Right.
garbage. So
Mhm.
anyway, but never. Okay, then it was like I remember a solid 2 years of Converse Chuck Taylor Low Cuts, and then it was Adidas Campus because those were kind of like the
Yeah.
trendy. Like skaters were starting to again wear whatever. So Puma Low Cuts, Adidas Shell Toes, Adidas Campus.
Okay.
They were like the trendiest, but Vans were still there. But again, I couldn't find Vans back then. I think I was just too young,
Mhm.
and I didn't really get a shop sponsor until I was in high school or something.
Wow.
Okay, and so then I think after that it was like a campus. Those were the shit forever.
Yeah.
The old school campus.
People still wear campus today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they reissued. I think Adidas reissued a bunch of them.
Yeah, dude, they just started doing shell toes again. A lot of skaters are starting to wear like Adidas shell toes.
yeah.
It's crazy. All these shoes, like B-boys used to
Yeah.
be super into them too.
Exactly.
Like every single one that you just named, we definitely were like super
And
about it.
let's stop and talk about that for a minute because we were talking about streetwear and where it came from. I mean, something I wanted to mention is that like those cultures like were all spliced together. You know, like we really were. Like it was like skating, hip hop, graph. You know what else is really it's really just those three.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
And
Yeah.
my graph writer homie of mine said that to me too one day, and it like gave me some like pride. He's like, yeah, dude, it's like it was us. It was us, our three genres. Oh, and b-boy, being a b-boy.
Right.
B-boying
That's
and I
part of
say
hip-hop.
DJing
Yeah.
in there
B-boy
too.
and
DJing, yeah.
All that
that's
categorized
That's
under
all a
hip-hop.
part of hip hop. Yeah.
All of like there were dudes-
graffiti, mics, and then what else did you just say? Dancing, DJing.
Yeah.
Like all of that is a part of hip hop.
Yeah. And it's all and truly though, it's the before nowadays or before even like 10 or 12 years ago. Let's just say before skinny jeans, because skinny jeans was what ruined everything. No, but I mean, it was all underground culture.
Yes.
It truly
Right.
was. You know, like
Yeah.
before Tony Hawk, I guess. Really, that's
Right.
really what brought it to the peep to everybody.
Yeah, to the masses.
to the masses. Yeah,
I mean, we're products of that. We still
I still
have
play Tony Hawk's Pro
nostalgia,
Skater
yeah.
1.
Yeah.
100%. So like we're very much from that generation because I never skateboarded, but I always thought skateboarding was super cool. But
Yeah.
so that's why I did longboarding.
I did it with my thumbs.
Yeah, exactly.
I was into skateboarding and it was cool until I realized I couldn't do all the crazy fucking tricks, but you know what I could do? I could dress like them. You know? That's
But it's
and
true.
and it's true. That's I came up off of like DGK, Dirty Ghetto Kids with the fucking
True,
Kool-Aid, the
yeah.
Kool-Aid t-shirts and the fucking purple
LRG.
LRG. That's a really big one.
I rocked
Everybody-
everything LRG.
Yeah, everybody at least had one or two things LRG in there.
I had
For
my
sure.
whole closet at one
Yeah.
point was LRG or Echo.
Right.
Echo, there you go.
Echo is huge.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
And
was-
there you go. There's a perfect example. Like Crazy Rider turned into fashion, made a killing, and then sold it. And then I think like he either bought it back or I don't know, dude. Like
I
they
think I
sold
heard something like that too. I think he did buy it back.
and
Yeah,
then made a
Mark
skate
Echo.
company. And you know what I mean? Though,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just this culture really has, again, because we're on a side note, did really guide a lot of like what popular culture is now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Like we wouldn't have the Ninja Turtles.
But wait, what were we talking about specifically a second ago? Were you talking about clothing still, or
We're talking about shoes.
oh yeah,
shoes,
shoes,
really.
right.
Yeah.
So then back to that thing where skate companies started coming out with shoes, and then that was sick. And Adidas was dabbling because they signed this dude Mark Gonzalez, and he came out with these shoes in like the 2000s. They were kind of like some of the first new skate shoes, and they were shit.
Right.
Yeah,
Gonz-
prototypes probably is just
Yeah.
like let's get these out, let's see how they like
Right.
it, and it was shitty, and then
Yeah.
That and Gonz is just like a super eccentric artist, and he made weird shoes. He's like this dude, Mark Gonzalez. You know, he's like 60 something now, still skating, still around, looked as like an icon.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
That's
So,
crazy.
dude, but then skate companies came out, and it was super sick. And then, like I said, like as skateboarding got bigger and the bigger shoe companies came in, they've kind of gobbled those guys up. So like now
Yeah.
I wear Lakai's, or I try
Yeah.
to only
I
wear
remember Lakai.
brands that I know that are
What about
owned by skaters.
DVS,
Yes,
DC?
I like DC,
Yeah.
but the shoes they make now are so big,
Yeah.
so thick.
Well, I always
They've
thought
always
that
made
was.
them
I thought
big.
that was
Yeah,
the
that
thing
was
with
like that one
skateboarding.
journey.
It was like skinny jeans, t-shirt with some fucking big ass shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
that
what it
with
was.
the fat laces,
With the fat
get the fuck
laces,
out of here. I
yeah.
hate it. Oh, okay,
Yeah, that's
You're not a
We
fan
talked
of
about-
fat laces at all?
no, not okay. I'm a fan of fat
You don't
laces,
like
but it was like
fat
hip hop
Yeah.
brought me into
like,
fat
if it
laces.
was on Pumas, you're
but
down.
like they did on skateboarding shoes,
Mm.
like DCs and all this stuff, and they left
That's
them
sick.
loose, and I was like, remember, not optimal. Why is your shoe? Why is your shoelace loose?
I run untied shoes sometimes.
Yeah, no, tight shoes is fine.
Untied.
Oh,
I said.
untied? No, these
Untied?
no, these were like the like top 5 loops gone. Not even no shoelace through them. And I'm sitting there like, what is going on? They had like a fucking butterfly fucking string. I'm like, bro, what? I'm from Portland, so there's like the style there was crazy. Like,
I get it though.
Yeah.
Those are the dudes you see kickflip and their shoe flies off.
yeah.
I know.
All the
So
girls
you-
thought it was hot though.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, as long as it's untied at the top, you're good. But once those
Yeah,
fucking-
because I wear my shoes untied at the top. I don't
Yeah,
tie
yeah,
my
I do
shoes at
too.
all.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you have 5 loopholes, not why?
I was like, I'm thinking about Vans. I'm like, that's all your loopholes, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. They just do the one.
they have one hanging off. and
It's a
fucking flying
it's
everywhere.
an 18-inch string. Boom, fat lace tied. It's like a bow tie at the top of their shoe.
Dude, that's a look, actually, probably.
I mean,
It's a
that-
style.
G-Dragon
It's a style.
reverse ties. His,
dude,
sure.
people always wonder why. Like, I always step on the backs of my shoes, and then my family hates it. But every time I tell them, I'm like, G-Dragon does it, so it's okay.
G-Dragon approved.
He went on stage, freaking golden old school Vans, steps on the back, and he just comes out barefoot. I'm like, my God, you're fucking sick, dude. Oh, ever since then.
This is a Korean artist that we kind of grew up on. So,
Oh, sick.
yeah.
What kind of music?
Korea is just
It's
K-pop.
like pop
K-pop.
music.
K-pop
Yeah.
original. Like it's like original K-pop for like a lot of my generation.
He's one of the kind of pioneers. You know how K-pop music is like crazy right now?
Yeah.
Like we, as longtime K-pop fans, we never thought it would get this far. But they're like, it's a global thing now. And they're one of like, the guy that I'm talking about, he's one of the leaders of like one of the pioneers of K-pop and at least mainstream.
He's
So-
the Mark Gonzalez of
Exactly.
K-pop.
That's sick.
Yeah. And he does it all too.
All right, we talked a lot about streetwear, shoes, clothing. You spoke a little bit about you had a sponsorship when you
Oh.
were.
Well, no, man, I've always just been shop sponsored.
Okay.
So,
Like, what does that
What
mean?
does that
to-
mean?
so that
Yeah.
means like you are repping a shop enough that they recognize that you're talented.
Mhm.
It's like the first step in sponsorship.
Right.
Because I would hear that when I was like in high school, because I hung out with a lot of skaters, so they were always talking about, oh, I know this guy. Yeah, he has a sponsorship. Like the store just sends them merch,
Yeah.
stickers, and they just have you filming their stuff. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And everybody was like super hyped if they knew somebody that was doing that at that time.
There was this spot right off of Redwood and 7800 in that same the same parking lot as All Star Lanes. There was a skateboard shop there. I forget the name of the shop, Technique. It was Technique. One of the homies I remember back then was he was doing a skateboarding video to send in to them for he was doing a skateboarding video to send in so he can get sponsored by Technique. Is that something that is that what you're kind of talking about? When it comes to sponsorship?
I think this touches on a couple things, but so like when I was young, we didn't necessarily have to film vids to get sponsored.
Okay.
It was more like word on the street, and then they went skating with you. So that was, I think.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Right.
That's cool.
That's even better. It's more intimate. They got to like really fuck with you and know you like that.
Yeah. Because I mean, and now it's so much harder because you got so many like media opportunities. So you got to like have a relationship with the shop, and then maybe you personally think you have to have some type of page, but really you still got to go film it and like show it to them.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so I rode for Salty Peaks when I was young, when it used to be a sick shop, and that's a whole other story. sorry for the homies that ride for that.
Gabe Part 2 coming soon.
Hell yeah.
I mean, whatever. Okay, so but all these dudes used to own it, and I'm still friends with them, and they were super sick. And so then I was young, and I mean, I've told this story a bunch of times to people that it's actually hilarious. But Raunch, one of my friends, Steve Fisher, rest in peace, love you, homie.
Rest in peace, guy.
He was like, oh, Gabe, me, you, and Mike, dude, we're gonna go ride for Raunch. And Raunch didn't really have. It was like Raunch had came back, and it was in Sugar House, and it was like the new sick everything shop, you know, like had all this shit. And so we were like, oh, sick, we're gonna like do something different. It's gonna be us three. So he tells me about it, and then like a week later I went in there and I needed a board, and like Brad, the owner now, he's still the owner of the new Raunch now. Like, dude, I bugged him for like an hour and a half. Like, yo, dude, you don't have a board for me? Like, can you give me a discount? He's like, it's not official yet. Like, I was so young, and I was just like relentless, dude. Like, I just need a board, man. Like, so then we go, it was like a week later, we go to have like the team meeting. He's like, all right, man. Yeah. So guys, you guys know that I'm going to make a team and whatever. He's like, you're on it. And then when it came to me, you're not on it.
Oh, damn, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, but that's what you get, dude. Like, I bugged him that day. So anyway, that's just a hilarious story, man. It was funny because I still like reap the benefits because like this pro team came in town like a week later, and I still got to show them around, and so I was hyped.
Sick.
But I don't know. So anyway, now I have a long relationship with Milo Sport, that shop, and now I ride for BC. It's
wow.
But and there, I mean, I guess it's just I'm lucky enough that I still keep good relationships with shop,
of course,
and try to like anybody I know that I try to refer them for the right reasons to the right shops.
Right.
But really, Milo and Raunch and BC are the three best.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, now there's Time Machine and Modern Monarch, which are two new locally owned shops. But
I had no idea about these shops too. I want to go check them out.
No, but shout out to BC Surf Shop, or like
BC's been around for a minute.
But
that one, yeah,
like,
for sure.
That was the whole reason I thought about getting Gabe really on. It was because I went there to get my dad a skateboard for his birthday this year. And my dad telling the story to the guy. That, you know, employees don't care. They're just gonna put your board together, whatever. And then my dad's like, "You guys know Gabe?" And then he's like, the guy that was working, he goes, "Gabe, tall white guy." He's like, "Yeah. He's my best friend. I taught him on a skateboard." and then now they're intrigued. Now they're like, what? Who is this guy? Who is this 5'6" Asian guy?
So sick.
Saying that he knows Gabe. Then I went back in to get AJ's trucks and stuff and the wheels, and they were like, "You were in here recently." I'm like, "Yeah." You know, I came. I'm gonna get a brand ambassador for our brand, and just some kid that we want to help out is like our nephew. And they're like, "You guys know Gabe, right?" I'm like, "Oh, well, my dad, like I know Gabe, like of Gabe, right?" But my dad knows Gabe, and he's like, yeah, dude, I thought that guy was crazy, dude. But then I talked to Gabe, and he was like, oh, yeah, that's my friend.
He's talking about X at the shop, and I'm like, X, dude, don't be skeptical to people, man. Just be nice.
Shout out X, man.
It was so funny, though.
It was when the X brought it up. I was just like, that's so fucking classic. right when I was like, oh, dude. Low, dude.
Yeah, you know,
I was like,
you know
Low.
exactly who it is.
And then Low would text me too, like, yo, I was at the shop, dude. I got a board. So I was all stoked.
Yeah.
So yeah, small world, man.
Kid in the candy store. My dad, like, he still loves skateboarding. He was still so passionate about it. But
Yeah. Shout out to Uncle Lo, man. He actually taught me how to kickflip and shit. And,
he gave you a board
he
too
gave
to
me
get
a
you out of
board.
trouble.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
that.
He gave me a board. He
gave you a board. I gave you some weed, and then you went the other direction.
he was going crazy. I said, "Fuck the board, man. Give me the fucking weed, man."
Because you gave him Mac Miller at the same time too, man.
That's the real problem.
He's like, I think I like getting high to Mac Miller more than I like skateboarding to Mac Miller.
It was a Taylor Gang effect, dude. Chuck
The
Taylor
Taylor Gang
shorts.
effect. That shit is real, man. The TG effect going crazy.
It's like Wiz was a dunner, man. Shoot.
Oh my god.
Dude, that's hilarious. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, just back to like, it's crazy now how big it is. It's crazy now
Yeah.
that skateboarding and Bo too, because
Yeah.
Bo
Shout out to Bo.
DJ,
Yeah, shout out,
hip
shout out to Bo, man.
sick ass DJ. I mean, that's how me and Lo like reconnected like 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, that was
Really?
crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like I remember being in the room and Bo be like, "Lo, you know Gabe? He's a skateboarder. He said that you know him." He's like, "That's the same story." Yeah, I taught him how to skateboard. Give me his number, and then boom, like
Yeah,
we-
we hadn't seen each other forever. We hadn't seen each other in a long time.
Right,
That's
like,
crazy.
close to
Full
20 years,
circle,
huh?
man.
Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
Full circle on that. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and Bo would just happen to be DJing with my friend who skates and is a DJ, and all these other hip hop dudes.
Right.
They were actually at that time like producing, making music and stuff. So
Right.
all back to that same thing, you know.
It's cool to see how like heavily active you stayed in everything, hip hop and skateboarding, whatever it may
Graph
be.
too, like
you
the
know,
boards,
graph
like-
and everything.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Throughout the years, you know, you said I don't want. How old are you now?
I'm 46.
Yeah, see,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's like you've been like super active. Like, I mean, you fucking know Bo. Bo's like one of the best DJs in Utah, we would have to say, you know. So it's really cool that you're still connecting and reconnecting and like super active in all of these different scenes and getting to connect with old
With
friends.
you guys,
and,
yeah.
and then with us too, right? That's super dope to see for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it. It's the byproduct of staying local.
Right.
Which is
true.
tight,
Yeah.
honestly.
It's you're right.
Well,
It's
you know,
true.
there's another thing. Like, I feel like Utah or Salt Lake and Utah is oddly a place that like generates these gnarly people.
Oh yeah.
It
For
does.
sure.
It does.
It's
You
true.
know, and I think for a lot of reasons, and not just in our two, like the genres we're talking, but
Just a little everything.
Everywhere.
but especially in those. And I feel like that's because of how, like, you know, we have a religion that controls the state essentially and has this clamp on the culture here. And so then like some people like maybe that had to grow up in that, like, and then they find something that's out on the fringes, so-called, you know, it makes them like that much better at it. It makes them like focus that much.
refreshing.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
oh, wow, I can be free and be myself. But
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a theory about that. I'm not going to claim that as law, but I think that because Utah is like on one side this effed up religious weird cult place, it has forced people to like go extreme in a lot of ways, like
stand
how,
out. and
yeah, to stand out.
Right. It's true.
And it means a lot that you
100%.
even said that because I'm born and raised in Utah too. And what you just said, I was like, oh, shit, yes, that makes me, that's exactly how I feel. Because I grew up in Kearns in West Jordan, which is like, I was pretty much like a black sheep during that time. So I always felt like a little out of place. But with, once we got into like fashion and streetwear, it's like, oh, I kind of found my community, and you just kind of go gung ho in it.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
and you still love the city. Don't get me wrong. Like even
Right.
though it has weird annotations to it, and like anybody coming out of Utah, you always get asked like, "Hey, are you
Are you Mormon?
yeah, exactly. So you have that kind of stigma even stamped on you from being from
Right.
this place,
Right.
but you still want to give this place the recognition it deserves because
Exactly.
it has so many guys like grinding out, doing some dope shit.
Right.
So
It's so true.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's, I mean, like graph writers. what, dude? Like Salt Lake has some ill motherfuckers.
Fuck, yeah.
World known destroyers, dude. You know, like, and look at the pro skaters too. Even Adam Diet, Lizard King, James Atkins. Those dudes were like probably kind of like the first three. They're probably almost all 40 now, or like in their 30s. But all their stories are like kind of extreme people. And now we have like Tyson Bowerbank. He's out of Utah. That's pro.
Wow.
So what is that though? Wait, I gotta think. Oh, this old guy Jed, frontside Jed, dude. He was like 38 and he got a pro board.
Wow.
But just dude, that doesn't happen. I mean, Utah as a whole is actually small compared to like a lot of other major cities.
California for
But
sure.
we got 5-6 pros out of here. That's sick as fuck.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's a weird breeding zone. And then like other dudes that didn't go pro that are like the legends of Utah. I mean, dude, we have some gnarly individuals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're just talking skateboarding, like snowboarding. You
Oh,
know,
dude,
like,
that's
you know
the
what
whole
I'm saying?
damn.
Like, we're
Shout
just-
out to all my snowboard homies.
right.
dude.
You know, we're just talking skateboarding here, but man, a lot of snowboarders are coming out of here going crazy too. Yeah. So
Well, the guys in my generation, this dude's Jeremy Jones, JP Walker, Nate Nelson, Mitch Nelson, his brother, Tim Osler.
right.
These dudes were the originators of street and rail snowboarding. You know,
Oh,
dude,
sick.
yeah,
Damn.
That's
some shit. That's
Hey.
yeah, dude, and then like a bunch of other stuff too. I think snowboarding in Utah, but
right.
Just
What
a lot of
was,
stuff here.
What was the best skate park for you?
well, right now it's the same Rosewood.
Rosewood. Where's that?
It's in Rose Park.
Okay.
And really, I think it's just however the design of that place played out to the builders, because the skate park company didn't build it; these local builders did.
Oh, that's sick.
But when it first got started, I think why I have like why I really like it, or a big part of it was when I moved back when I was working for this hotel. I moved to Wyoming for like 2 years, and I came back and they were building that park, and it was when I was just like, oh, dude. I was so warped, so young and so warped, like 32 and so warped from work. Just like, what am I doing, dude? Like, that same thing I was talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And they built that park, and then that was like the first park. Because when I was that I really like skated as a home park. Because now that's what people talk about, your home park. Dude, we didn't have that.
Right.
They just didn't exist until I don't even know when.
Just recently, if anything.
I mean, the last 15 years,
Yeah.
really. But I guess I've been skating for like since '89, so whatever, 30-something years, which is crazy to think about.
That's wild.
Yeah. This whole time we've been sitting here, I keep thinking about that movie Street Dreams.
Oh yeah.
Rob Dyrdek.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never
And
seen
how much like they outcasted the was it who was the main character, the Mexican fool?
I don't know.
Paul
Was it-
Rodriguez.
I think it was Paul Rodriguez who was the Mexican, and they outcasted, like his dad and everybody around him outcasted him for just wanting to
skate.
be a skateboarder and skate all the time. And now we, like you said, now we've seen it evolve to such a, now it's in the fucking Olympic, it's in the
Yeah.
Olympics now. It's skateboard has evolved crazy,
And it's accepted, right? Like,
and it's
Yeah.
accepted
you can
now.
be like,
Yeah,
I'm a
right.
skater when it used to be like,
Yeah.
Even
True.
like Utah, though, was evolution. I'm pretty sure you appreciate it, though. We had our first SLS last year, and I wish I would have attended because I watch all of them. I literally watch every highlight, everything,
Right.
and I just really like what Rob Dyrdek and them did, to bring that to life. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm trying to get AJ there. I'm trying to get AJ there next year.
That's kind of my era. Is like Rob Dyrdek in DC.
Yeah.
And
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Robin Big. Watching Robin Big
Sure.
on MTV and shit. Like that's the era that I came up with, and that was really pop culture back then. Was like those.
Mine was the
films.
Jackass boys.
Yeah, see,
Jackass, the same
too.
era.
Jackass
Bam and all
is
them.
Like, that's
That
the
was
same
like-
era. Jackass, same thing. So
Everybody wanted like a fantasy factory.
right,
going on.
fantasy.
Yeah.
Just
can you imagine?
I still want
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Oh, me too.
Yeah. We're gonna make it happen.
I think about that all the time.
We're looking for sponsors for a fantasy factory in Utah. Okay, let us know.
We got a lot of warehouses. Could
Yeah.
be tight.
We got a lot of empty space in Utah.
Yeah.
Utah is one of the top 3 country or states with open land.
We have our own country too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Well, Mormon land.
Real
Be
talk.
careful. I'm kidding.
Real talk. Real talk.
Because I watched way too much. This could be a side tangent for sure, but in Utah, there's been a lot of TV shows and documentaries coming about like Utah and that culture, especially back in the 2000s, right? So I'm like, I've been watching way too much shit. Way too much of that shit. You talk way too much.
What? The Mormons will come and shut you up?
Oh, something like that. I don't know. Have you guys seen that show on Hulu, Under the Banner of Heaven?
Mm-mm.
So
Is it about Utah?
it's about Utah, in Sandy, Utah in the 80s, I think. And it was about...
You were in San Utah around the 80s.
I was.
It was...
I was
man.
in Midville.
Midville. Oh, yeah. Close enough. Close enough.
That's
It's
where
right
I'm at
there.
right
It's
now.
just
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
It's a different town.
But either way, it's about this case in the 80s. I don't want to like butcher it, but it was like fundamentalist Mormon culture in the 80s, which is just too heavy for this podcast. Oh my God. But watch it on Hulu if anybody got that. So, yeah.
Dude, that shit's gnarly.
Yeah.
That's what I got to say about that.
We're... Go ahead.
No. Mine's not serious at all. I'm just like, I don't want to say it now because it's
Just fucking
it's
say it.
dumb.
Fuck 'em.
Okay. On Netflix, fucking Jeff or whatever Warren, that guy.
Oh, it's about those people.
Yeah, there's another
Those
one about that too on Netflix, separate thing. But Warren Jeffs, sorry, that's
Warren
what
Jeffs, yeah.
And I was 7 years old when I was seeing that on the news. I had no idea what the hell was going on. And then I see it now at the age of 28, 27 at the time. Oh my God, this is some dastardly shit.
Oh, it's evil.
Yeah.
I mean, those dudes, it's just that whole thing using religion to control people.
Oh, 100%. And I was way too young to even comprehend it, but we would watch the morning news every time. I shit you not, I had like a weird experience seeing it now because I was like, I've seen that picture before. Like his, his mugshot. And then seeing it, I was like, oh my God, I was watching this shit on the news. Like, oh, damn.
Yo, that is a walking white lizard. I've never seen Guaylo in real life. There it fucking is.
Wilo.
Outsider.
Wait, is it Guaylo or Wilo?
Wilo.
Wilo. With a W? With a
G.
G? I knew I
Yeah.
was saying it right.
Yeah, no.
Wilo.
Yeah, okay, I wasn't.
Yeah, you said it right too.
I always say that shit like, no Guaylo, I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
I'm cool, bro.
Just imagine him in Tokyo Drift.
Dude, that would be fucking
Guys, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's pretty much the episode, though.
That's pretty much it.
Let's go ahead and end it off. You got conspiracy questions for him?
Oh, man.
Science.
This is going to...
We'll end it off with a conspiracy question. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Me as the...
Yeah,
Go.
you're the conspiracy
All right.
theorist.
Hey, don't say that. That's people might get the wrong idea. It's like, you're a conspiracy theorist? Kinda.
Ancient
little
astronaut.
bit.
You're not an ancient astronaut. You're ancient conspiracy theorist.
I'm an ancient conspirator for sure.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay, let's start off small. Like, what is your... I like to ask everybody this. What is your favorite conspiracy?
Oh. Dude, wait, I got to think about this kind of for a second because there's some really funny ones.
There's so much. There's either like...
I mean, let's just to talk for a second. Like, I'll say that like YouTube has brought some things full circle for me because like when was like 2007, 2008, right? There was starting to be like a lot of YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So then
2006
in
era
those
is when-
days,
that's-
you'd watch
yeah.
some conspiracy theory about politicians and what they were saying now about what the Democrats are doing is what those videos were saying that's what the Republicans were doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that just goes to tell you about how much bullshit's out there.
Yeah.
Okay, but some of my favorite conspiracies. Dude, I think a pretty dope one is about how I don't know, I haven't shared this too much with a lot of people because
You're in a safe place.
I'm talking mellow too, so I don't send out too much of the
He's like, I don't
wrong
want to stand up right now.
vibrations. No, dude. Like I watched some like a couple YouTube videos, and like somehow it took me to that Jesus. The story of Jesus is actually the story of a mushroom.
Oh yeah.
I've
The
heard
mushroom,
that.
Yeah,
I've heard
So
this one
whatever
too.
civilization actually used mushrooms very prevalently. But like, okay, so the thing about mushrooms, and there's some mushrooms that like they don't die, and because they like are a couple different forms, but the fungus or whatever, like it doesn't die. And there's like this one mushroom that they were talking about in particular, and it's used in a lot of ancient art, but this doesn't go that deep. The whole thing is they're just saying that the story of Jesus got translated over time to being a human, but really it was just a mushroom that they used in agriculture for medicine. They just had so many uses, and that they had passed it on through so many generations that it was this ever-giving piece of life, and that's really what Jesus
interesting.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
I thought it sounded so stupid. I'm like, you know how they don't know what Jesus really looks like? And then they kind of try to base off it. They're like, what did he
Guaylo?
Yeah, pretty much. I tried to, but he just was like, what did Jesus look like for real? And then it just shows a mushroom. I'm like, what the fuck,
Dude? And that's it. There's like, I keep talking about the mic, sorry, but I don't know. There's a bunch of like art that they look back. There's in Roman things, but dude, there's a bunch of that was just that the reindeer would like. They
Reindeer?
had
Hold on.
Hold on.
let him talk, man. Let him talk.
Christmas. Wait. I just connected Jesus and Christmas, and I didn't tell anybody about it. And now we're up north. Yeah, dude, you're right. You're right. I just jumped.
Yo,
And now we're in Antarctica.
No, okay. So back to the mushroom. There's like, magic mushrooms or whatever. They were prevalent where like in reindeer country up in the north.
Yeah.
They had them. And so how this ties in, I don't know exactly, but supposedly the reindeers could fly because they would eat the piss or drink the piss, or lick the piss on the ground of like the mushroom or the reindeer herders, and those guys were eating mushrooms, and then the reindeer would eat them, and they'd feel the effects also.
Yo,
look that up on YouTube so the story will make
that
sense.
is fucking crazy.
But
So,
that goes back to the whole thing of like the mushroom has been a part of like every culture for so long that it represents this whole like magical identity. All right, I'm gonna shut up now because a lot of that didn't make sense.
No, you're good. It made sense to me.
It made sense to me.
fucking crazy.
Okay, anybody that has ever watched that friggin' mushroom documentary on Netflix will also understand this too, because mushrooms they're like powerful. They have an underground network. It's almost like the brain of the earth.
Yeah.
So whatever you're saying, I'm like, no, that's not gonna be a thing, because there's like stoned ape theory is a thing.
That's
that
crazy.
And what's the stoned ape theory that they ate the mushrooms and then they started eating different?
Yeah, like early evolution of humans, I guess, are humans, Homo sapiens, right?
Right.
They ate mushrooms, and that's how we kind of have evolved and gained consciousness.
Wow,
essentially.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So like, there's a theory that these apes were eating mushrooms, and it helped develop their brains. So they started to, I guess, grow and evolve. I've said that
Think
like
better.
3 times, but
Yeah.
that's a theory
That's dope. I'm gonna have to
going
watch
around
that.
for
That's
sure.
crazy.
Oh, man,
I believe
I
that.
believe
Oh yeah,
I believe
look
that.
it up. Stoned ape theory. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And then even for me, somebody that has experienced some things, I saw a Korean music video and I was having a spiritual experience. So I thought it was
I do all the time.
because like, and you can't explain that to anybody that doesn't experience it. But I
understand Korean for
Yeah,
some
man.
reason. What?
You're like,
This
guy watches fucking Korean movies with no subtitles, dude.
All right, y'all. We're gonna end it on that note. We want to thank Gabe
Yeah,
for
no.
coming on episode
Thank
34.
you, Gabe, for coming out here and showing the kids how to go crazy and shit, and letting them show you too.
Shout out to AJ for willing to
shout outs
learn,
to
dude. He had
AJ.
so many questions, and
that was
Yeah.
sick.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
You were willing to like just come here and just be on the podcast, talk some shit, laugh with us, and also teach the youth. All the kids. You had all the kids out there skateboarding. I've never seen that many skateboards
bro.
in my driveway ever.
That's so sick. And
No,
that
shout
one-
outs
and
to
that-
you, man.
And that one kid, he was just like, "Can I do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude." And he did it every time.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. Hey, man, thank you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
no.
you guys.
Shout outs to you. Keep going, man. Keep the dream alive. Keep the kid in you alive too, man. With the skateboarding and everything else. Thank
Yeah,
you for that.
I appreciate it.
Shout outs for the
More
boys.
people need to be like you for sure.
Hell yeah.
Quit your fucking job and go back to what you like to do.
Yeah.
Oh, before we end, we actually have a segment called Chef Special.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
It's,
yes.
and so it's really just you giving free game to everyone, or just saying
with
whatever
your
you want right now.
experience
Yeah.
in life and what you wanna and what you learned and what you think would be valuable information for our viewers.
Is that right now?
That's
Yeah.
right now.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So wait, chef special, and pass on something that
Just pass them some knowledge that
Anything,
you taken
whatever
from
you want.
your life,
Oh,
and
man. This thing, dude, is
then do mushrooms.
in a
Try it
controlled
one time.
environment with your friends.
Warning.
Yeah. And be cool. No, man, you know what? I would say, just because I don't want to be fake and I'll just be real, like when you're coming up and if you don't want to follow the same path as like what maybe society is trying to tell you, trust that and go with it. But don't be stupid and think that the money just grows on a tree and you don't have to work for it.
100%.
Because whoever got where they are and they're a billionaire or whatever, they still went through the sludges. And the truth is that when you get rich, not that I'm rich, the sludges and the day-to-day bullshit is what actually makes you the money. And what is like when you can attain that like basic thing, then all the fun stuff that comes with your hard work really does pay off and feels like something. Because then it's like I ate peanut butter. I ate a piece of bread every day for lunch because I needed to save whatever amount of money. But guess what I do on Saturday? I eat steak.
He said, I eat two peanut butter and jellies.
Yeah. No, but
I would have flipped my shit if he said I add jelly to it.
Yeah, I jelly. No, yeah. That's if you're grinding. No, but I mean, I don't know. Just because it is, about it's going to take you the same amount to become the next king of sneakers as of energy. If you become an electrician, it's just going to be a different timing. But if that's what you want, then do it. If you want to be an electrician, then do it. But I guess really it is follow through and trust your gut with what you decide to do, whether it's a traditional thing or if you want to like really achieve some dreams. That's what I say.
True.
I love that.
Different folk, different stroke all day. Thank you, Gabe, for us. Thank you for us.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Episode 34, y'all.
Episode 34, off the menu, going crazy for y'all. Thank you so much.
Peep the boards, baby. Peep the boards.